I write to you on behalf of every innovator and creator, every fashionista and risk taker, every small business, every big dreamer, every achiever, every sports person, every cheerleader, every artist, every activist, and every dreamer. From Africa to the world, get ready. We've arrived, and we are here to stay.
As the chairperson of the Silicon Cape Initiative, we actively support and promote entrepreneurship in the Western Cape and also in terms of continentally. Our slogan is Africa First, and we believe that African innovation will solve our local problems.
So Bablu, yes. Can you tell us more about your involvement in the South African Innovation Summit?
Well, my involvement in the summit is the one of being a judge. Okay. But I've also traveled the whole country with CEDA, which is a small enterprise development agency. Really, the Innovation Summit as a culmination is also one of the best things that has happened to South Africa in driving innovation. We are launching even a bigger fund than is any capital on the 26th of November.
Okay, what is it
in Johannesburg? It's called the African Wealth Fund. Yes. Which is a fund that seeks to support entrepreneurs in 4 categories, which is agri, culture, tourism, technology, and education.
With this new role, one of the activities in this mandate is to try and advocate for innovation in the country and what it can do for society. And we have at this point thought of innovation in 3 areas. One, innovation for society. So this would include innovations, for instance, that are coming from informal sector and how that sector can be grown into the next level. We have to play a very, very important role. And then innovation for economic impact. So this is innovations supporting the private sector companies that would like to innovate using research and development activities. And we have investments and activities there. And then the third area is to see whether in the public space, how do you modernize certain aspects of government using innovation? So we thought the Innovation Summit is a perfect platform for us to come and share some of these ideas, but also just to support, I think, the summit itself so that we can have the conversation on the role of innovation and how it can then assist in these 3 broad areas.
This innovation, it was invented based on the background. I was raised by deaf parents because all my parents are totally deaf. That's where this innovation came out, because it was invented in 2015 because I had a serious challenge in terms of communicating with my parents. That was the glove sensor communique was invented. What happened is that a deaf person wear a glove. When you sign, it translates South African Sign Language into voice. You as a hearing person, you will carry the mobile application. When you talk, it will detect your voice and translate your voice into South African Sign Language animation. It also gives deaf people to make phone calls. They will only sign, and when you're in the other side, you only hear the voice. But when you talk, they will look at South African Sign Language animation.
Hello. Hello. What is your name? What is your name?
Tell us, why the South African Innovation Summit? Why did you start it? What was the influence? What was the agenda?
Look, in the beginning years, 12 years back, the conversation of collaboration to get innovative outcomes was really just not on the table. I think the scientists talked about it. They didn't do much about it. There was a lot of talking about it. And we wanted to bring it to society. So we work with kitchen inventors, garage inventors, but we also work with the universities and large businesses. Everybody plays a role to get a tech entrepreneur to get into society, make a difference, social or economic.
Look at those palm trees there!
TIA focuses on technology development. I focus on that warm body that has to move the technology from point A to point B. So if you really look at TIA, our role really is looking at how do we take a product to the market. It really is that. And the reason why I say that is if someone doesn't take the product to the market, it's called the valley of death. Because if you look at all good higher education institutes, all science councils, they ultimately focus on really good innovations, but they don't really get it to the market. And with that not happening, you find that you don't have job creation, you don't have economic growth, and you're not really sustaining our high unemployment rate of youth in the country. So for me, that is a critical thing. How do we move just beyond focusing on technology development, but rather job creation through using the Technology Innovation Agency as a space to do that?
It exposes us to a lot of entrepreneurs who are looking at, getting skills on board in the companies. The investors are looking at, the creativity of South Africans. And while we may seem very academic coming from astronomy, being in at Innovation Summit, we also develop in our students the skills, the technical skills that are very high in demand. So the big data skills, for example, data science, the analytics skills, the data visualization, the computer programming things. So our students get a lot of the skills that even if they may not end up being sort of academic researchers in astronomy, they can have a very successful career also in the private sector. But it's very important for us to, keep the pulse also on the private sector so that we make sure that we can expose our students to that as well.